I've posted these before, but I'll do them again. See, this started in 2022. You can see. Good luck, homie, because this is where I asked for the name of her social media manager that she had just done a video promoting, Jess Chastain, who's trash. Don't use her. And this is exact. I can't rep for stuff I don't like. I thought I would be in on this. This whole experience changed my view on that. So I just said that I just spoke with Jessica and I feel some sort of way. She was very nice and knowledgeable. However, when she asked me to tell about myself, I mentioned being gay and she stopped me to let me know that she was a Christian, but was a Christian that hates the sin, not the sinner. While she would be an advocate for me on social media, the boundary she has was being gay, because that goes against her beliefs. So she would support my mission as long as it's queer, support me minus my queerness, so long as I could separate me from queer, no LGBTQ anything, she would represent me, which I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to do that, being gay myself. Me existing violates her boundary. And I was like, she said all of this too with a smile on her face, and she seemed so sweet. And I was just so gobsmacked, speechless at this, because she just said it like, I'll do whatever, but your existence is a boundary and I see you as a sinner, all of this. So, and I said I was still stunned thinking about being told I can work with you if you aren't actively acting queer or want to promote things to the gay community because it's sinful. Like, I was just gobsmacked. And I said, anyway, I just want to let you know, I don't expect you to act or anything because everyone has bills to pay. I just want you to be aware of who you're promoting and all this other stuff. Jen's response, hey friend, Jess has a big heart and loves everyone. I don't think her intentions were ill-mannered whatsoever. I feel she may have wanted you to know because in the past she was turned away from a creator who was in that description. And it was hurt by that. If Jess in any way, shape, or form in that matter, I would have never sent out a TikTok about her. Just be upfront with her. I think telling her I was gay was being upfront. But again, in that description, in there, and her immediate response to finding out what her social media manager said is, it's not that big a deal, and it was because LGBTQ creator didn't want to work with a homophobic social media manager, so that's why she was homophobic to me. But we can't say gay. The person was in that description. So that makes it okay, right? And down here I just said, my only request is for you to watch my friend's video where I was crying to see. Well, then she realized it was a bigger problem. But guess who has access to all of these messages? Jess, her social media manager. So what does Jen do so that her social media manager can't say what she's saying to the raging the raging gay, in her DMs? Because she don't want Jess to see it. She gives me her phone number and switches to text, where her social media manager can't see what she's promising. She says a lot of placating things, and I really did believe her at this time, and she tells me that she's going to do everything in her power to make this dramatic homophobic experience and use it for the good of the entire LGBTQI. I think what this shows is no matter how well-intentioned, they have no idea. I might do a series on No Hate Like Christian Love. I'll handle this, Tanya will not tolerate this, blah, blah, blah. So I don't want to ruin her reputation if she's going to handle it. And I believe what she says. So if you believe this, it shouldn't be a problem to say this, unless your social media manager prohibits you from talking about LGBTQ issues. Then it might be a problem. Spoiler alert, it was a problem. Because she never does it. She never does it. And I think I had made a couple of posts like where she was promoting her months later, saying if just this person wasn't for us. Some of my comments would get deleted because, again, Jess has access and can delete anything on her comment. But Jen saw one, and apparently, it made her look bad. So she slid into my DMs again. I saw your comment and wanted to reach out. Based on her last communication with me, I thought we were okay. But I know that hurt can linger. I will never go back in time, but it still haunts me to this day that I ever did any kind of business with her. I take full responsibility of the hurt she caused you. I'm sorry. I cut ties with her. I made even videos warning people about her. I feel like they're what you feel I should be doing, and I don't know how to be the person you are. Do what you say you're going to do. Like, make the videos saying that this kind of hate isn't okay, but she never did. Not only that, she made it seem like here that she got rid of Jess because of me in this incident. Actually, she said that somewhere. And I said, question, you said you fired her after that, but that was last June. And I know because Pride happened right after. And I included it in my letter to Jess. I said, and that was one of Jen's own TikToks here. And I said, but that was November, so you didn't fire her then. She gaslit me and tried to tell me that she fired her because of my incident right after that, and she didn't. Oh, she got caught. She didn't think I was watching. Yeah, it was complicated. This is my first experience like anything like this, and I got manipulated. I take full responsibility for that. At first, I tried to manage it by sending her through education, but it didn't work, so I fired her. Sending her for education. So for months, she was still okay with having a homophobic manager that couldn't means you can't do any LGBTQ content because it was a boundary. That was not a problem. But you're going to send her through education, and then if she continues to be homophobic as your voice and face for a little while longer, then you're just going to have to do something. The reality is Jess is crooked as fuck and screwed her over, and multiple people after that. To this day, I do not believe for 1 second it has to do with LGBTQ. And mind you, I was minding my own business occasionally because I can't avoid her videos, even though I unfollowed her and I tried to block her multiple times and the app would unblock her. And I would request like, hey, how about you do some trans advocacy content? Those comments would get deleted. Hey, what about this? Those comments would get deleted or ignored. But if I said a comment that might hurt her reputation, into my DMs, it goes. She goes. And then again, this is another year later. She said, when we spoke a year ago, I had no idea you were waiting on me to do a series. You know, the series that I showed in the first one? You know, that one that she said she would do? And then she says, I think that's what I'm understanding that you're still upset at me for. It's not, it's about, you were supposed to show me who you were, that you were a real ally. You never did. I see you now. She still doesn't get that. And so if she knew she was waiting on me to do the series she said she would do, or in real people friend terms, like if you expected me to show that I was an ally, like actually show I was an ally versus in private where other people can't see, say I was an ally. If you wanted me to publicly be an ally, it would have been wrong for me to even suggest that you would have done it if she knew my healing was depending on it. It's not my healing. It's I know who you are now. You say what you'll do in private, but if it affects your brand or doesn't get you enough clicks in public, I see you. But if she knew that was that, she would have never made that promise. She would have never said she would have done that. She would have just said, my manager's homophobic. I'm sorry I lied to you in the DM, assuring you that I would do everything I can for the LGBTQ community. I would have never said that if I thought your knowledge of me as an ally would have depended on it. And then goes on that how Jess ruined her life. Again, this is another way I know that her getting rid of Jess had nothing to do with being anti-LGBTQ and had everything to do with how she manipulated and used Jen. And when I mentioned, like, all I was hoping to see was like the videos and like some actual advocacy. And she says, you know, that she heads up initiatives about my hospital, about equitable care. I teach new grads about equitable care. I'm not tagging you or letting you know about these things because I know you will never think of me as an ally. Gee, I don't know why. Convince me that it never even crossed my mind for what I'm doing for the LGBTQ community, because that would be performative. I prefer to do it in private. It would be performative. And like I said, I have done like on other advocacy videos, hey, could you do one on how you would speak to a trans non-binary patient, you know, as she's done with some of her other patients. Those comments were ignored and deleted. But make a comment that mentions about her homophobic social media manager, that will trigger her in my DMs, not me and her. So when somebody doesn't mind somebody that they know without a doubt is blatantly homophobic to be the face of their brand, and that person's boundary is no LGBTQ, and you're okay with that, and you continue to use and promote that person, what does that say about you, your core values? And if you promise someone that, hey, I know you had this experience from the person I promote, I'm going to do everything that I say that, you know, to make this better, and you don't, and then you get mad at the person you promised that to for saying, you said you would do this, I was just waiting for you, holding you accountable for what you said, and get mad and turn around and say, but I'm expected to be everything for everybody. You don't know how it's like to be a big social media thing. How dare you hold me true to what I told you in private, because it was supposed to stay that way. I kept it from my social media manager, so she couldn't even say I promised it. And it would be against our contract to do it anyway. And they get mad at me because I don't see her as an ally. Huh. Except when she makes LGBTQ content, it's when there's so much outrage, she has to say a little something to dangle the feather to pretend that she is an ally. All of this tells me that's what's performative. The saying, you know, they were just homophobic to you because a gay creator didn't want to use them because they're homophobic. Just be honest. That gut reaction is the actual her. So I have more, but that's the gist of it.